Noah with Extreme Terrain here. You're looking at the AWE OFG catback exhaust with the bash guard and diamond black tips fitting the 2021 and newer Bronco, excluding the Raptor. If you're looking for a high-end performance exhaust that has some added underside protection so you can have some peace of mind when you're off-roading, then you need to check out this system from AWE. Now this system is going to fall at a 4 out of 5 on the Wake the Neighbor scale. Oftentimes exhaust is kind of that first front when you come in contact with a big rock or something like that on the trail. Usually exhaust loses that battle pretty quickly, especially if you're rocking the factory setup. A great way to ensure that that system stays put is to get one that has a bash guard included, like this OFG catback from AWE. Overall, this is a high-end catback that comes with a dual exit and ends up right under the rear bumper. We've got one muffler here in the middle of the system, and that's it. But that also frees up some space in the back where the mufflers are found most times, and there's a lot less to catch things on when you transition to flat ground off an obstacle. Now, because of the fact that it doesn't have a ton of mufflers and resonators, this is going to be fairly loud, like I had mentioned before with that 4 out of 5 rating. That's also going to allow exhaust gas to flow out of the motor more freely, and you'll even pick up some feel in the pedal with some more power. Let's look at the construction and design aspect of this exhaust from AWE. The first thing to mention is that it's made entirely of T304 stainless steel, which is really great, especially on an application that will see some off-road time. 304 is super hard, so it's rugged and really tough to dent, and it's just about as corrosion resistant as steel can be, so even if you get sand and mud up underneath your Bronco, this exhaust won't rust to pieces after a few trips out. All the tubing from the motor to the tips is 3-inch in diameter, and that's where you're really going to see the performance gains from. All the bends that you see here are mandrel bent, which just means that it's not crush bent. Everything is smooth and there's no ribs or joints on all the bends throughout the entire system. Now, this is designed to be a drop-in and go kit with no cutting or welding required at all. And we definitely can't forget the party piece here, the bash guard. That's a T304 piece as well, and it's actually this larger ring that's slipped and welded over the exhaust here that protects the lowest part from getting caught and getting beaten up. This AWE exhaust comes in around $1,450. I will say this is a pretty high budget system, but I do think that that's an accurate price for a full catback high quality system with tips and a bash guard. And this is priced pretty much the same and to what you would expect from a high-end performance exhaust across the board. This exhaust has an install difficulty of 2 out of 3 wrenches, and for the install time, it's going to take you about 3 hours to get everything bolted together. Now, like I said before, there isn't any modification or welding needed, and as far as exhausts go, this is going to be a pretty easy one. Let's head over to the install bay and check out how to do it step by step.
For this install, you will need an impact, long and short extension, 11, 13, 15, and 16 millimeter sockets, 15 millimeter swivel socket, hanger removal tool, penetrating lubricant, and also, not shown here, is a pole jack or a jack and jack stands. What's up guys, today we're going to be doing an exhaust on our Bronco, but before we get started, we're going to send you to watch a short video on how to uninstall your factory setup, and we'll see you when you get back.
So to remove the axle back portion of our exhaust, we have a clamp with a 15mm nut on it that we'll have to loosen up, as well as a couple hangers that we'll have to remove. So we can take a 15mm socket to loosen up our nut on our clamp. Next, we can pop our hanger out of our isolator using a pair of exhaust hanger removers. And now we can do the same thing on the other side for our other isolator. So now once we have all of our hangers removed, we can pull back on our muffler to remove it. Now once we have the axle back portion of our exhaust removed, we can come up to our flange. We have two 15mm nuts that we need to remove, and then two 10mm bolts that hold our hanger. So now we can take a 15mm socket to remove our two nuts. Next, we can grab a 10mm socket for our two bolts holding in our hanger. Now lastly, we can remove our hanger that's right above the axle. So we'll get a hanger remover tool, pop that out. And now we can slide our pipe off of our flange up front and remove our exhaust pipe.
Alrighty guys, welcome back. Now that we've got our factory system uninstalled, we can go ahead and start putting our new one on. So we're gonna start with our mid-pipe and muffler section here. So we've got our pole jack up here just to give us an extra hand in supporting this. We're gonna go ahead and get this in position. Now we're gonna line up our flange with our two studs here first. Get those lined up. And what we're gonna do is pull our muffler section out like so. We're gonna line up our hanger to our isolator here. We're just gonna push that into place until it seats like so. Now that we have that on, we'll go ahead and reinstall our factory 15mm flange nuts here. And we're just gonna leave these hand tight for now, just in case we need to adjust anything along the way. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and install our link pipe. Now it is very important that this points away from your drive shaft. So we'll go ahead and get our provided clamp over our slip joint here. Work that into place. Sometimes these can be a little bit tough to get on. Once we have that on, we'll go ahead and slide this over our muffler section here. Make sure that gets nice and seated. And again, it is bending away from our drive shaft. Next up is our over axle section. So again, we're gonna grab one of our provided clamps here, get that over our slip joint. We're gonna send our pipe over our rear differential here. And we're gonna get our hanger into our isolator, get that started, and we can go ahead and get our slip joint on. Make sure that's nice and seated. And we'll go ahead, make sure our hanger goes all the way through our isolator here. Okay. Next, we can go ahead and start installing our dual outlet section. So once again, provided clamp, get that onto our slip joint here. We're gonna go ahead, line up our first hanger and isolator. Now we've gone ahead and sprayed our isolators down with a bit of penetrating lubricant that will help things out here. So now that we've got this started through, we'll go ahead and get our slip joint lined up to our over axle. And we'll go ahead, get that in. sure our hanger goes through our isolator here. And we can go ahead and get this side in. So if you happen to be running a 2.3 liter like us, we will need to install an adapter bracket for our rear passenger side outlet. So what we're going to do is remove this isolator off of our factory bracket here. Pop that off with our hanger removal tool. Then we're going to go ahead and install our provided adapter bracket directly over the studs. You don't need to take off the factory bracket. Just going to set that in place, and we'll go ahead and install our supplied flange nuts. And we're going to want to keep our bracket as low as possible just to allow for maximum clearance. For now, for our tip when we install it, you can adjust this if you need to, up or down, but we're going to keep it at its lowest setting. So we'll go ahead and tighten these down and then reinstall the factory isolator on our new hanger bracket. So we'll go ahead and grab our 13 mil socket and small extension on our impact and go ahead and tighten these down. Then we'll go ahead and install our factory isolator outlet hanger into our isolator. Now you may have to flex this a good bit. Just work it over that hanger. So now we can go ahead and begin installing our tips. Go ahead and get this slid over our outlet. Now you can set these to kind of be exposed a little bit or be pretty flush with the inner bottom portion of your bumper. We're going to go ahead and set our slash cut, top completely vertical. It's a little bit of exposure here, just like so. Then we're going to go ahead and take our provided elevator bolt. And once we have our elevator bolt into its slot there, we're going to go ahead and grab a flat washer and a lock nut here. Go ahead and get that onto our elevator bolt. And we're going to go ahead and grab our 11 millimeter socket on our impact. Go ahead and snug this down. Make sure that's nice and tight. Then we'll go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. So now we're going to come back underneath and start tightening down all of our components. So we're going to start here at our flex pipe flange. Now we've switched out to a 15 millimeter swivel socket and extension on our impact to go ahead and tighten these. So now we'll go ahead and tighten down our muffler outlet side clamp with our 16 mil socket on our impact. Then we'll go ahead and do the same thing for our link pipe here. And you want to get these clamps pretty much flush with the end of your slip joint. And we'll go ahead and tighten down our dual outlet clamp. So this exhaust kit also comes with a single outlet option with a bash guard tip. That's for if you want to be doing any off-roading or overlanding and you just need that little bit of clearance and you don't want to damage your nice polished black tips here or any of your dual outlet pipes in case you're running into any rocky terrain, anything where you just need that little bit extra. So if you want to do that, this is very easy to switch out. So what we're going to do is grab our 16 mil on our impact and go ahead and loosen this clamp back up. So that's good and loose there. We can actually slide that onto our over axle section. We'll just give it a little bit more loosening. Slide that back. Then we'll go ahead and get this off and we'll switch out to our bash guard single outlet setup and show you how to get that on. So first we're gonna get our passenger side hanger out of its isolator. So we'll grab our hanger removal tool. Go ahead and pop that out like so. Make sure it doesn't swing down. Then we're gonna go ahead and get our driver's side out the same way. Removal tool out of the way. Pop this isolator off. Then we'll work our dual outlet back off. Now you can take your tips off if you feel like you're gonna damage them while doing this. Realistically, you're just gonna work this out. We'll go ahead and set this aside. Then we'll get our single outlet with our bash guard, which is this extra ring here, installed. So we'll line this up with our hanger here. Go ahead and get that started. We can line it up with our slip joint. Go ahead and work that on. Make sure our isolator goes well over our hanger. Then once you've got that on, go ahead and tighten this right back up with our 16 again. Alrighty guys, that about wraps up our review and install of our AWE 0FG catback exhaust with bash guard and diamond black tips for your 21 to current Bronco, excluding the Raptor. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Bronco, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.